Hello, I'm Patricia McNeely from Twin Flame Body. How are you today? So today I'm going to talk to you about this energy that we're in. This is with full moon, eclipse, sort of in this eclipse sandwich because there's energy that's going to carry through actually a couple of seasons here. But for the immediate time right now, I'm going to talk about what you need to pay attention to. And I know that to a degree, a lot of people want to know, like, what is their other half doing? What are they thinking? They're completely rethinking everything. And that's not even their own willfulness. It's just stuff that's happening. So there's a lot of anger coming up. There's a lot of emotion. There's painful emotion. There are things being addressed now from a really deep body level. And I mean your physical body. Headaches, queasiness. You're going to feel the waves whether you like it or not, because whatever you see on Schumann scale, whatever you see, waves and waves, like waves crashing into a bulkhead, this is creating necessary change. It wells up from somewhere and it's all coming home to roost. Why? So love can really come home. And some of the things that we've been seeing around, they're just not loving at all. In fact, that's actually a part of it though, because this is going to include the eclipse, the full moon. This is sort of a strange eclipse too, because this is what they call a penumbral eclipse. And what that means is that it's not that the moon is completely obscured. You see it in sort of a shadow. So there's a little bit of lightness and a little bit of darkness. Isn't that quite typical of what we go through? A little bit on the light side, still dark, still nasty, still icky, still painful. And it's going to continue, and you need to address it. How you need to address it is through your body, because there are reasons for this. The entire place is dismantling, and it's going to require some participation. I can't say it any plainer than that. I have actually something to let you know about why the full moon, and why I've written this. This is going to be about 2 months worth of work for people who have been doing work, for people who haven't been doing some of the work. And when I say the work, what I mean is get your channels open, start integrating the higher parts of your body. It's just not enough to sit there and go, whoa, another wave, and there it is, the DNA. And what's happening is it's flattening out. It's getting very flat for people, and they're feeling it. Are you feeling this? Are you feeling accustomed to this? Because this is actually not the way it's supposed to be. You're supposed to be able to transcend this. And the days are numbered where we have this plan, and the plan is to get you where you need to be. We started this, and so some of the things you're going to experience started in 2017. But the thing you really need to look at is, what is eclipsing your life, and what are you hanging on to? What things, what situations are you hanging onto, or that you're allowing to cling to you, or that you struggle to let go of? Because it's not intended to be pried from your cold, dead fingers. You're intended to participate in doing the work to let it go. If you can't let go of something, you can't make the space for the rest of your life to start taking on where it needs to. So are you hanging on to something that's old? Also, you're going to be in the position of finalizing 20 years of neglect. What does that have to do with? What have you neglected? What have you neglected to address? A lot of it is going to be about your physical body. What have you neglected? Do you eat properly? Do you exercise? A lot of people do that. A lot of people say, oh yeah, I eat okay. I eat healthy. I eat this way or that way. That doesn't cut it anymore. That's only one piece of this. What are the other pieces? Because everything has to work harmoniously in unison for union. And that's where people get hung up, because it's hard to address everything all at once. What can it mean, 20 years of neglect? Some of the things that you're going to find out actually are a little bit surprising. It could be teenager stuff. It could be things that have come up that maybe you knew in the back and you kind of knew, hey, I couldn't have done anything about it at the time, but now you can do something about it. Why? Because of the shift. The shift has happened. The shift is enabling you to transform. The shift is so that you could love with impunity the person that you're intended to love and be with. So this is going to mean better relationships, a better relationship with yourself too. So what do you pay attention to? You pay attention to your kidney health especially. I do not say this lightly. I do not say this lightly. I myself in 2017 suffered kidney failure. And I know how to get it up and running, and I know how to get things. I was not told I'll go on dialysis. I had a talk with another twin flame friend recently who had gotten to the point of dialysis. And I said to her, what was dialysis like? She said it was pretty uncomfortable. In one way, it wasn't too bad. In another way, it was very uncomfortable. I said, how'd you get off of it? She said, I decided to heal myself. Now, this was several years ago. When I say several years ago, probably close to 18 years ago. Not in these energies here where you can address something and it doesn't take you 5 years. You still have to address it. Do not assume. This is not a time for resting on your laurels. Do not assume. So if you have something, it's important that you address it. It's important that you have a session with me so that I can help you with the higher connection so that you can affect and integrate what you need to integrate in the spots where you need to. Because this is not happening willy-nilly. This is happening with purpose, and it is happening for a lot of people, but not everyone. You're not intended to have a nervous breakdown with this, but you are intended to be aware, be alert, as what we call be conscious. Be conscious. Be conscious, be proactive. What is the next thing? Emotional pain. Emotional pain shows up in metaphysical and physical ways. Think of things such as headaches, head pressure, neck pressure, shoulder pressure, stomach, your nerves. So I don't like to say that, oh, you know, you have to do this or that, but yeah, you have to. You have to start addressing some of these things properly. The menstrual cycle on women. You are going to find that things get very, very odd. And I know all about it, and I've been through it. And I can tell you that I have not only learned about it, but what it has to do with is your angel body. Your twin flame body doesn't want anymore. You're not intended to live in the tribal hut with all the other ladies once a month for a week and then trot back. Please tell me how that is unconditional love. That's putting conditions on parts of you that actually belong to each other. The thing to start learning about is your body and how to get things properly where they need to be so that much of this becomes seamless for you. When I look out there and I see like what's out in the community, I see a lot of stuff about the DM this and the DM that. Well, the DM is having his tree shook and it's causing a lot of discomfort for men. So the DM is more than a man. The DM is inside you. And people are very dualistic about that. Like they're looking outside at a person that has nothing to do with them. The only person who has nothing to do with you is all the rest of the planet. There's one person that you are connected to, that you're universally forever connected to, and that is your twin flame. And yeah, I'm going to say it again. You can't just deny this away and say, like, oh, well, I guess I'm not here for that, or oh, well, because it shows up in other ways. It shows up in other areas of your life. It shows up with karmic situations. And people do that too. They give up. I want to tell you, don't give up. Because the very thing that you've waited for, part of my task, what I've been tasked with, is to keep people encouraged and keep people going and get people ready, get your prep, help you with your detox, help you with purgings so that you can seamlessly flow with what this really is. Why are we doing this? So that you can absolutely 100% have a fresh start. So we're at the beginning of the year, and yes, you're intended to have a fresh start. What is a fresh start? It means fresh. It means starting off again. It means starting sometimes at the beginning. It means addressing what needs to be addressed. So this is why I say you cannot rest on your laurels. That is what I found out. You can't rest on your laurels. It doesn't matter if you did this for 10 years or if you did it for 6 months. You actually have to keep going with this because this is barreling along. And so I have something to show you about the eclipse itself. But the last part I'm going to talk to you about is the heart. Your heart is absolutely critically important. Your heart, at a very deep level, holds the connections that actually gets you out of the body. And most people don't open that up. Most people close up. Most people are feeling, if they feel a wound, they are covering their heart. They're protecting themselves. And I don't mean with extra weight. What I mean is they are guarded. They're afraid. They don't want to be hurt. Well, men are just as afraid as women. And it doesn't mean we're in mortal fear, although mortal fears are a big part of what is being addressed here. Mortal fear of the entire human family who's been scared to death of each other. What are we going to do? What did they do to me? What did I do to them? Or what will they do again? That is the thing. And you need to get on with your life. So when we finalize the 20 years of neglect, this is going back to, hey, what happened in the 90s? What happened in the 80s? The 80s especially. So you have the 1800s. You have 3,000 years ago. There are people that I work with where their wounds and the things that have happened to them actually go back 100,000 years. Because I see this. Part of my gift is that when I connect with someone's energy, I'm privy to the scene that was the part that really went wrong for whatever reason. There are people that I've been working with who have been in world wars. They've been gassed. They've been genocided. This is some heavy duty stuff that cannot exist in the same place that you are intended to be loving with each other. Not the heart, not any of your other chakras. And not only that, you can't carry it with you. You can't just say, oh, well, I've given up hope. I'll just take up with someone, because you're going to have to clear all of that person's stuff out too at some point. I'm just stating a fact. I'm not trying to scare people. And I know what people are saying, but I need something. Yes, of course, because you've suffered neglect. This is what I'm saying. Because of certain ways that you've been neglected, you're going to be seeking something. But what I'm encouraging you to do is seek it through the body, which is where you first found out about this. For the majority of people, how you came to know about this particular topic in the person is through your body. Most people didn't trip onto twin flame because they were studying astrology. Most people didn't trip onto twin flame because they were studying biology. Most people didn't trip onto it if they were studying anthropology. They didn't trip onto it if they were studying tarot, even though there's a lover's card. They didn't trip onto all of the feelings and sensations, is what I'm saying. Mental awareness is one thing, but feeling sensations and that deep, profound passion that people also talk themselves out of. Why would people talk themselves out of passion? Fear, fear of judgment, self-judgment, fear of never feeling it again. That's a big one. Fear of somehow that's going away and it's never coming back. And so they grab on. They feel neglected. Why? Because, yeah, that's happened. It's happened throughout history. The emotional pain is astronomical for some people, and sometimes all they can do is just get by. What if you were to work on some stuff that's entirely different? Because what I teach is entirely different. We don't talk it to death. We get your body open. We get it moving. We get this stuff shifted. You're going to have changes with your sleep. You're going to have changes with your kidney function on purpose for some people, because that's sometimes where things need to shift. The kidneys are a strong connection to your galactic history. So the entire angelic body is in transition. So right now I want to show you this. As you can see, this is the path of the eclipse. And this is, while it's not entirely visible in the United States, okay, so there's the United States, there's South America. We're showing the path here, but what you want to be aware of is when these things happen, the energy affects people kind of where they live. So it's a handy dandy little animation here showing you, let me get the thing going. Showing you the progression. Australia, India. Okay. That was just a quick animation courtesy of Time and Date. They have a great lunar calendar, great lunar animations, great solar animations. I love that website. And this can show you how things wave, how, you know, the dimness, the darkness waves. That energy pushes these things that show you, they're intended to show you. If you're not sure, come for a session. I do classes, I do online classes, I do a monthly webinar every month. Every month there's a different topic to cover. I'm always covering the body because that is my strength, that is my forte, that is what I have created, all of my proprietary material. The things that I am teaching you about your new body, nobody else has. This isn't ancient history. There's more than 7 chakras, and you have to get yours open before the next season change. So March, June, this is what you're looking at to get yourself up and running. If you're still sticking yourself down into the 4th dimension, you're going to be feeling it, because it's going to keep feeling like karma keeps happening, karma keeps happening, karma keeps happening to you. And it leaves you with uncertainty. There's a lot about this energy that makes someone feel very discombobulated. You're here to be in love. Let's remember this. Let's remember why we're doing this. You're here for deep passion. You're not here to be somehow diminished yet again. You're not here for the flattened out life that your ancestors had. You're not here for a dead-end relationship. You're just not. You're here for love. You're here to get, right now at this time, your angelic body. So this is one of my pre-recorded webinars. The link is below. The links are below for my class, for my sessions, and my book. If you are starting to go through the sleep changes, changes in your dreams, the topics of your dreams, the quality of your sleep, the length of sleep. If you're getting awakened at 3, 4, 5 a.m., it's time to get my book so that you can get rest and sleep in your new body. That is the main topic of the book, but it takes up an entire chapter, sleeping in your new body. It took me a little bit to get used to it. And I first noticed it a few years ago. I just wrote about it last year so that the book could be published and up and running. I'm going to leave you with one last reminder. Sacred sexuality begins with your twin flame body. There's no other way to do it. You don't do it with your mind. You don't do it with books. You don't do it with your astronomy charts. You don't do it by saying, I'm this sign, my twin is that sign. This is how you collapse all your dualities. Everything that is a sticky point between you, anything that's like a speed bump that you think is insurmountable, you collapse that through your body. That is what I teach. That is why I'm saying enough talk, time for the action, time to get your body moving. Because for the most part, this is what people want. And it's been like this since day one when I first started talking to people about this. Everyone's all about their relationships. Some people are lonely. You can be lonely in a relationship. How do you take away the loneliness? Your body. How do you take away self-judgment? Your body. How do you take away guilt? How do you take away suicidal feelings? Your body, your body, your body. The twin flame body is it's a special template and design. It is a template designed for romance. Okay? It is the template of relationship from 5D, but it's really your template for a deep romance with your one true love. Not everybody else, because those days are over. For the most part, for more people that have come into this awareness, when you hear those words, okay, it's on. There's no turning it off. You cannot go back to the faucet and turn it off and say, no, 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 someone left the faucet running. I don't want any more. You can try, but why not get with the flow? So sacred sexuality, I've already experienced it. I write about it. I spoke about it in 2 of my recent classes because it's very confusing out there. And it's a part of the neglect. It means that not every part of you is being touched as deeply as you once were touched. There are parts of you that long for the deep intimacy that you know existed for you at one time. So come and find out, work with me. I guarantee you will see some shifts and have some changes. You will purge things, and I will tell you what to do. Because there's no point in doing this unless you know some of the things that you can empower yourself. When you do this, you help your other half. There's no doubling up like then they have to come. You help, and it goes right over to them, like an attunement. Ding. Okay? Do you ever strum a guitar and there's a guitar on the other end of the room? That guitar will pick up a resonance. That's an attunement. It's picking up the resonance of the other guitar strings from across the room through the waves of someone strumming it. The same thing happens with you and your twin wherever you are. So thanks so much for watching, and check the links below. Join, reach out to me, email me at twinflamebody@gmail.com because love heals. Thank you. Bye.